Hey guys, welcome to IL-2. It's 5:30 in the morning because my sleep schedule is fucked and hold on. Q1.
This is 6, roger that. This is 7, that's a roger. This is 8, roger.
And I'll be flying the Thunderchief. There's a few things that I've changed on it. And in this video I'll go through them. Anyway, the task for today, we're taking off from Bien Hoa in South Vietnam. We will fly north, roughly to the demilitarized zone, where there is a few tracks on the trail, you know, the Ho Chi Minh Trail, that could use a bit of bombing. So I'm bringing 3 more Thunderchief with me. Each has 10 750-pound bombs. So I did announce in the thread on SAS that I'll be releasing these changes, but nobody should really expect them before Christmas, and that's because, well, as I said, I work slowly as it is, and now that I actually got work, finding time and motivation to work on mods is kind of difficult, because, you know, like every day I'm more and more tired, and just how it is. Anyway, first thing that I've changed is I've added this. It's just a minor detail. It's not really as effective as it should be, but that's it. You can erect the nose now. Another thing, I have created a custom effect for the afterburner. There was none before. I could have used the could have used the default one, but I don't like it all that much, so I've created a custom one. And as you can see, it's not just a cylinder with a texture, it's actually it's a volumetric model, but it's a pseudo volumetric, which means there's a whole lot of layers with a texture. To be exact, it consists of 250 different rectangles, and in my humble opinion it looks pretty epic. Okay, let's check the map and see where we are. Okay, Bien Hoa. First course 7 degrees. That we should hold out for 58 kilometers until we arrive at the border, which has nothing really on it. And since then it will be 140 kilometers at 347. Let's go. So, since this takes me all the way across the map, from the south to the demilitarized zone, another concern will be the fuel. I have corrected the fuel load. Original one was almost 5.5 tons of fuel, which, considering that it's supposed to be 4,400 liters, including the extra fuel in the bomb bay, comes down to 3.5 tons. So there was like almost 2 tons of extra fuel that shouldn't be there, which made playing way too heavy, especially when it comes to the AI. The AI doesn't like flying heavy planes, especially when it's like heavy compared to its actual lift, which the Thunderchief actually was. Now it's a little bit more bearable. What it also means is that fuel is more of a concern. Okay, here we have the AI joining in. And this is going to be a fairly large mission. We're 5 minutes in and we are just rejoining with the AI. And I apologize because, as you know, I'm not that good at entertaining people on the YouTube. I'm slowly getting better at this, but bear with me. I'm not a professional yet, and I think I am slightly off course. That's the river, and the river, where do we go? Okay. That's about right. Okay. So the fuel load reduced by 2 tons. I did touch up the center of gravity. Now it's not as twitchy as it was. It's still twitchy and easy to go tail first if you stall out. It's not as easy as it used to be, where the CG when you stall would shift by almost a full meter. But I'm getting there. Hold on. Let's tell them to close into preparation. The USA using a tactical change and field
This is 6, roger that. This is 7, that's a roger. This is 8, roger.
So this is my number 2, he's on the right, and these 2 fellows will be on my left. I could use time compression here, but I am scared that it will just not equal properly, and I will have frame drops, and if I have frame drops, it's super easy to just go nose down into the ground. Besides, it's not like it's a long mission, just half a course Vietnam. Yeah. It is what, 200 kilometers. Let's see, we have 50. 140, let's say 200, another 100, it's 300 kilometers in a jet. That goes pretty fast. We're going 600 right now, so that's half an hour. Yeah, okay, I will need to use time compression. I should now also see the effect. Nice. Correcting on the course, let them rejoin. I also like these skins. It's by a fellow whose name I forgot. Like, he does a lot of skins, and I'm kind of sad that I don't remember the name, honestly. But that's to be expected. I'm really bad with names. I'll put a link in the description because I freshly remember where I got this. A very nice skin. This one representing the 563rd Squadron, which in IL-2 is represented by the Heavy Bomber Squadron from World War II, of course. And well, at the time it was a fighter bomber squadron, so I use that, and it's the same squadron, but number, but you know, yeah, stuff, boring history stuff nobody's interested in, and I don't even like know all that much about it. Anyway, number 4 seems to be having a stroke. I'm slowly climbing here, just to conserve fuel, because as I said, the fuel is now a concern, because you have 2 times less of it. Now I did internally model, and I did release it as like a small mod to where the altitude actually affects fuel consumption as it should, which means that even the realistically modeled fuel consumption for the engine, the plane has roughly the correct range. This also assumes that you are going to perfectly keep your climb profiles and stuff, and cruise altitudes. So 10 minutes in, and I have no idea where I am. So here we get into the stuff that is going to come somewhere by Christmas. I haven't started yet. So what I would like to work on is the cockpit. Currently it's using the Sabre cockpit. It works, it's functional, but it's not the Thunderchief cockpit. I have a F104 cockpit in works, but I haven't touched that one for half a year now. And that was more like me trying my hands at it. It's not all that good. I might have to start that one over. I will be starting this one from scratch, now that I roughly know what to do. And the planned features for the cockpit are, of course, the RWR, which will be dependent on year, because before a point in time the Thunderchief did not have a warning receiver, at least a visual one, and after that point they all had it. I think it was 1966. I could be wrong, I'm just guessing. So that will be in, and it's going to be the APQ'd APR something dash 25. It's the strobe RWR, which means that instead of what people are mostly familiar with, that being the RWR with icons, you know, like you see in this here some of it. This one is a strobe RWR, which means that you have strobes running from the center, like sort of lines, and depending on if they're dashed lines or just full lines, and all sorts of other stuff, you need to basically guess what is shooting at you. So far, I did the audio implementation just to see how it works. So I placed a S75M sight somewhere around here, and it's not going to be all that dangerous at this distance, but it will try and shoot at us. So you will be able to hear the RWR at work. And another feature of the cockpit is going to be the bombing system, which in reality works in a way where you depress the pipper to where you want it to be. You can even keep it centered. You maneuver your plane to put it over the target. You, in reality at least, press and hold the bomb release trigger. And then while you're leveling out, when the computer figures out that it's the right moment, it will release the bombs for you. Can do that in IL-2 before changing the engine of the game itself, which I do not want to do for this one. So I'll just put it on the bomb automation button, which is this. That wasn't planned, but you get the point. Yeah, like that. Yeah, the math behind the computer shouldn't be too complex. We just need to keep track of where you are and what is your actual distance to the designated point. Of course, the Pipper will work as a standard gyro site for air-to-air work, in case you would be suicidal and you would decide to fight MiGs, which, surprisingly enough, you can actually do in the Thunderchief. It's difficult, definitely. It's not something I would advise you if you're trying to keep up a perfect score, but you can definitely do it. For that, Thunderchief also has a radar, which, to my knowledge, should also work as radar rangefinder. You cannot use it as an air intercept radar, but you can use it as a rangefinder for your benefit. What you can definitely use the radar for is ground mapping. So you would see, for example, where is land, where is river. You can definitely also use it to for terrain avoidance, which I think I'm slightly confused. No. So this one is this, I think. And then I'll need to cross this one and see. Yes, that's this one. This one is this one. And just so you know, please, why I do not have, like, you know, the plain icons on the map, and why do I not use icons here? It's because this is the fun that you have in IL-2. Oh, excuse me. This is the actual piloting, navigation. This is what makes flying so fun to me, because you actually need to know how to get from point A to point B, and that's what makes it a challenge. And a challenge is a fun to me. I do not find it challenging per se to play against other players. It's definitely not something that I would consider like easy. Like, definitely, like, having other players against you is hard, and you die a lot. Especially I'm bad at, like, PvP flying. But it's not like a challenge that is like a fun challenge here. A fun challenge to me is this. Not to mention that it's extremely relaxing. Until you realize that, oh no, it's almost 6 in the morning and I haven't done anything productive. By the way, before you say anything, I did go to sleep yesterday at 2 in the afternoon. Actually 3 in the afternoon. And woke up at midnight, so it's not like I didn't sleep. Should I? I'm just going to try the time compression. You will see a lot of dropped frames. That's fine by me. Yeah, here we are all flying the river. And the biggest challenge, excuse me, AI is keen on using the afterburner, which I don't particularly like, because then they drain the fuel which they do not really have too much of. Could you stop using the afterburner? I will have to throttle down a bit. after we fly over this mountain mass thing, we will start setting up for the attack, which means that we will need to find out where the enemy actually is. And oh, here we go. We are roughly somewhere here, and the radar site is somewhere here. That radar search warning thing was from the P12 early warning radar. All good, all good. It should probably be giving you a sound which it is not giving to me so far. Could be a problem with how it's set up and how the radar warning code actually works, which is not made by me. It's made by Western. I just tried implementing it for a test. Anyway, on the actual visual RWR, you would see, I believe it would be a full line for a low frequency radar like this. There would be a full line pointing roughly north to where the SIM site is. Once we get closer and SIM site decides it's time to attack us, you will hear the actual audio of the SNR 75 radar, which is the tracking radar of the site. Should be flying roughly due north. Okay. Let's correct it a bit. Looking at the time, we're flying for 22 minutes of video time, and okay, could be faster. I know that people don't like long videos, especially if, you know, the one talking in them isn't all that interesting to listen to. I know that I'm like putting myself down here, and you know, that's just something that I do. It's not really that I hate myself, no, by no means. It's more like I know what's popular, and I know that content like this is not really popular. So if you're still listening, props to you, more power to you, and if you're not subscribed, please consider it. Definitely plan on making more videos in the future on, be it random IL-2 stuff, be it stuff that I actually make, or all sorts of other stuff. And excuse me, my stuttering. It's a thing that I've developed, like, I wouldn't say recently, but it's been getting worse recently. It's not a thing that I can do something about. If I could, I would. You wouldn't believe how annoying it actually is, but for now I just have to live with it. Okay, we're now in the mountains. There's clouds everywhere, and between those clouds we need to find our initial point, which is going to be a Lang Bay base. From that we will turn to the west, track the road, and near that road there is the trucks. It is kind of sad that the road is not on the map. It goes like this, and then there's a little bit like this, and a little bit like this. So just before the junction, there is a bunch of North Vietnamese trucks that are just waiting to be destroyed, and if we don't, they are going to do bad, not freedom stuff, okay? God, I love the Thunderchief. It's such a interesting design. Let's put it in. It's interesting because it's not like it's sleek. It's definitely massive, but it's not like fat or anything. It's just right. Also, if I put it like this, you can see how it like slightly narrows down in the middle. The area rule is why it's that way. It's a detail like that that makes it the plane absolutely gorgeous and stunning. And having tons of bombs on it definitely helps. Unfortunately, I don't mind. Blame me. And we should soon be over the target, or at least the initial point. But I'm blind, especially because of these clouds. Another thing that I just remembered that is going to make it into the release near Christmas is going to be the F-105G. And it is going to be the AGM 45 and 78 for Thunderchief, which will allow you to attack the SEM sites before the SEM sites attack you. Because you're sure you can dodge the missiles, it's not that hard. Especially when half of those missiles will miss you even if you don't do anything, because of how they're done. Which I need to pat myself on the back for making it as inaccurate. To where, like, you know, it actually stands a chance of hitting you, just not every single time. And there's a lot of near misses. Let's see. Is this the road? I hope it is. We have like a thing there. That's the. Is it there? Or am I looking for the wrong place? Anyway, the base is somewhere. Yeah, there it is. That's the base, and that's the road. And following the road. Give it Thunderchief behind me. Following this road, we should reach the actual bombing target. Which is, I believe, there. Yes, that's it. Oh, 6, 1.
This is 6.
Wait, no.
Copy. Attack.
It's...
Roger. Beginning our
There
attack.
it is.
This is 8. Roger. Beginning our attack.
Oh no.
This is 6. Bombs away. Bombs away. 7.
And they completely missed. How unfortunate.
This is 6. Roger. Forming up. This is 7. Roger.
I'm not gonna go in for
This is 8.
like
Roger. Regrouping.
gun strafe because of the AA. Just, you know, I could, but I would just die, and it doesn't look good. I just want to go back and hold on. No, it's not one. Let's reset those. They will now make a extremely wide circle, burning all their fuel and afterburner to join back on me. follow the suit. Because if they do it like this, they will end up in front of me, and then they will keep circling around until they run out of fuel. Also, the SEM site didn't count. Is it? Huh. Not sure what that is. Anyway. We're now speeding away from the target. Back down south. There's 1, 2, 3 of them. We'll just keep doing this. There's something broken with the engine mod lately. Also, there's something wrong with my joystick. Or does the plug? I don't know. I think it's just creating too much lift. Which I wouldn't be surprised about, but hey. Oh yeah, that's the... I've put at the end of the runway these arrestor wires, which would be there as a roll stop. It comes from mod by Mace, who made this this mod for like what if MiG-15s and stuff. Don't really like what if stuff, but these objects are extremely useful, so props to him for making that. It definitely works the way it should, to where you can just land with the hook down in case you're too fast or you know that you won't stop in time. Definitely works as intended. So okay, let's have the AI join in. I will also tell them to go anything more. Excuse me. And not drop the fuel tanks.
Roger that. 7. That's a Roger. This is 8. Roger.
Let's speed it up. And yeah, well, now there is nothing much to talk about anymore. As unfortunate as it is, I did tell you all that I really needed to. And now it's just going to be a boring trip back home. We didn't actually get locked by the SAM site. So you couldn't hear the authentic sound that it would give you. But you might see me or one of the wingmen run out of fuel as we fly over South Vietnam, tracking back to Bien Hoa. Hoa Bien. Me and Nipes. Bien Hoa, yeah. And yeah, as for the anti-radiation missiles, I've actually read up on them quite a bit on the AGM 45 and 78, which are the first ones that I'm going to release. I did start the tests with the 88, the harm, but that one is quite advanced, and it needs a full integration with the F-18 and stuff, and it's not all that simple integration actually. Like, there's a lot of interface that need to be done, and I reckon I am lost. Maybe. No. Before I was. Looking at okay. Well, if that's the case, then what?
This is 8. Mayday! I'm gonna try to ditch!
They are running out of fuel. I think that's... yeah, that's the river. That's the right river. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this one is... possibly this one. Yeah. So this one is this. So we just need to go to here. Cool. He's claiming that he got it, but in reality he's just low on fuel. So we'll get to the base. Might use some time acceleration here. And yeah, I'll find the base, I'll land, and it's going to be it for the video. It surely depends on whether I can actually find the base. There it is. Okay. You guys.
This is 6. Roger, we're going home. 7. Roger, we're going home. This is 8. Copy, returning to base. This is 6. Roger, on my way to the next waypoint. 7. Copy.
And as you can see,
this is 8. Roger,
we have
continuing
some
to next waypoint.
28,000 pounds of no, actually, is it gallons or is it pounds? And it's in 100, so 800 pounds, if anything. No clue. Anyway, let's make a right-hand circle. Out here. Line up. And go in for the landing. I don't know, I'll probably do it from external view, just because it looks cooler. I'm definitely confident enough in making a landing from the cockpit, but you know, it would look so cool. Which I definitely could do, you know, like record the track and do all sorts of that stuff, but IL-2 doesn't tend to record modded aircraft too well. Okay, let's see.
This is 6, on final approach, requesting permission to land.
Okay, let's clear the Let's clear the runway.
White 2, this is the tower. Go
Okay,
ahead.
we're far enough for
Clear
the
for landing.
AI to consider it clear. And I can now definitely watch the landing from here. Another thing that modded aircraft do. Ooh. Move. I know that they do mind spacing when taxiing, like to take off. They do not when they land. Okay. Excuse me, mister? Just AI things. I'll have to do something about that too. Okay, finally. How are you guys doing? It's beyond me, but okay.
This is 6, copy, returning to base. This is 7, copy, returning to base. This is 8, roger, we're going home. This is 6, copy, next checkpoint. This is 7, roger, on our way to the next waypoint. This is 8, copy, going to next waypoint.
No clue what they're attempting. Anyway, this will be it. Thank you for watching. Once again, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.